Welcome to Sidebar, where you vote on the internet's biggest buttholes. Am I the butthole for arguing with my fiancé and refusing to let her niece be the flower girl instead of my sister? Mine. I'm 23 and my fiancé's F22 wedding is this month. Wedding planning has been literally a nightmare. Her mom keeps stopping boundaries and changes any plans we come up with to have a decent wedding and not let me ruin it and embarrass her. Her mom thinks I'm a kid, she calls me son, and it's so annoying and inappropriate. My fiancé is the youngest in the family and I'm the youngest son-in-law in the family, that's why I got this nickname. Anyways, my fiancé and I already discussed and decided to have my 9-year-old sister be the flower girl. She has mild cerebral palsy but she's functioning and does good at school. She's had people make comments about her and she's very sensitive, so she'd get upset because of these inconsiderate people's comments. My sister's is on cloud 9 ever since she was told she will be the flower girl. She got her dress and so far she's tried it on more than 5 times, asking me when I'm going to have the wedding, which is sweet. Thing is, my fiancé came to tell me last week that we will be making changes in terms of menu/invitation cards because her mom recommended other things instead of what we agreed on. According to her mom, I have no idea what a good decent wedding looked like and wanted to save herself from embarrassment. I let it go and didn't say anything because my fiancé told me these are small issues and that I needed to go with the flow. Okay, no problem, but to suggest that we picked the wrong girl to be the flower girl was the straw that broke the camel's back. She actually said she was sure how my sister will behave at the wedding and that we shouldn't take chance and just pick her niece instead. I told her no, not gonna happen. Like I gave my parents and my sister my word. No way I'm going to make her upset and sad and let the niece take her place. My fiancé threw a fit and said I was overreacting, that my sister still gets to wear her dress but sit with the crowd instead of walking down the aisle. We've been arguing over this the whole week and I'm now supposed to call her and say okay, but I refused and I'm standing my ground and wanting my sister to be the flower girl despite what others say because this offends me and my family. Is the poster a butthole or not? Reddit says, my dude, listen to how your fiancé is speaking about your sister. Think about how you're going to be stuck with that MIL for your entire marriage. And think of how either your wife is bending over backwards to please her or agrees with all this ridiculousness. You think this is just about a wedding? You really think that all this capitulation isn't setting a standard for how you and your opinions will be treated in the future? You need to sit your fiancé down, alone, and have a long conversation about her behavior. And that in no way at all is it acceptable for her mother to be acting like this. For your fiancé to let her walk all over you both. And most importantly, that your fiancé is not ever going to speak about your sister like that again. Your sister is 9 years old. She is a young, impressionable child who has more than enough shit to deal with as it is. More than any child deserves to. Are you going to bring your fiancé into the family, around your sister, with her thinking she can treat your sister like some wild animal? Look, I'm never one to support the idea that a man needs to check his woman. The phrase is disgusting. As a big brother though, and as a person, you need to give your fiancé a swift and definitive reality check. This is not her mother's wedding, it's your wedding too. And she does not demean your sister like that. Ever. Not the butthole. But you will be if you just bend over to all of this heinous fuckery just because it's easier than arguing with her. 3 years down the line when MIL is running your lives, and your wife is blaming you for it all, you'll be wishing you had fought back. Your relationship isn't lost, but you need to get back on the same page before you go any further. Am I the butthole for calling my grandma by wrong name until she gets my name right? I'm 16, I'm half Mexican from my dad's side, and my mom's side is Scottish. NGL, most of my mom's family is high-key racist, and has been problems sometimes growing up. My grandma on my mom's side never liked my dad and was happy after they divorced when I was 7. My name's Emiliano and my grandma always complained how hard she tried to change my parents' minds, and it's a shame I got stuck with it. I'm actually proud of it. My dad told me about the revolutionary I was named after in their history, but literally my entire life my grandma refuses to say it. She says it's too many syllables. I got a cousin named Alexandria and they say the whole name and always came up with her own names. She says Leo, or once tried to get everyone to call me Elliot as a nickname for a while. Obvious my mom's family was for it, but my dad refused that cause it's not my name. It's always the same thing when I see them. She'll call me Leo or whatever. Even when I correct her, she says it's not a big deal and keeps calling wrong name. I told my mom I don't like it, but she always say I'm just not gonna change her mind and no point in fighting it. So I decided if she not gonna wanna call me by my actual name and not gonna call her grandma or say her right name, It's stupid, I know, but it's bothering me more that she don't care, and all my other cousins, she says their name's fine. No nicknames. Her name is Susan, so I decided to call her Sandy. TBH, I was scared to say it, but that look on her face was worth it. Elmow. It was a surprise Pikachu face, but it was close. She said that is not how I address her, and it's grandma. I told her nah, I might call her Sandy from now until she says my actual name. It got awkward. My mom was serious and my GMA got super red in the face. She started ranting about me being a freaking disrespectful child, and this is all my dad influencing me again. My mom told me I need to apologize immediately, but what gave me the balls to not do it? We ended up leaving their house early, and my mom didn't talk to me until we got home. She say what I did was out of line, and I don't disrespect my elders ever. She wants me to apologize, and I'm grounded until I do. Haven't talked to my dad yet about this since it just happened, but I wanted to ask if it was being in butthole, or was it okay for this situation to insult my grandmother? Is the poster a butthole or not? Reddit says, adults and the elderly don't like it when they're given a dose of their own medicine. Not the butthole. Emiliano is not a difficult name to pronounce, and your grandmother's not respecting you when she's always mispronouncing it. So why should you respect her? It's a two-way street. And you don't owe her respect just because she's your grandmother. Good on you for sticking up for yourself and calling attention to her BS. Am I the butthole for being too honest about why I don't drink? I'm 33 and I had a serious drinking problem since a young age. My dad was an alcoholic, so booze never lacked in our house. It nearly killed me when I was only 27 and was in the ER for alcohol poisoning. It was too close a call, and after that things had to change. With my wife's support, I went to rehab, and proud to say I've been sober 5-1/2 My flatmate invited our friends over yesterday. It was 7 of us in total, including his friend, Mark. I've met Mark maybe 3-4 times over the last 2 years, and while we're friendly, I honestly don't know him that well. But you can tell he's a party guy. Likes to get loud, take shots, makes gross comments sometimes, etc. Mark brought several cases of beer and a bottle of tequila with him, so everyone was drinking and having a good time. Mark kept offering me drinks the entire night, which I politely declined. It's like he made it his personal mission to get me to drink by egging me on, saying every time he sees me I'm either drinking a soda/water and it's okay to let loose sometimes. He resorted to teasing me into drinking, calling me princess. I don't know what that had to do with not wanting to drink. All my friends there knew what I was like before, how bad my drinking was, so they kept trying to steer the conversation so he'd forget about me. But every now and then he'd hand me a shot glass or a beer, and would not let it go even after telling him yet again that I didn't want to drink. My wife became uncomfortable with his behavior. I think she was worried I'd actually drink. She grabbed a shot glass from me, dumped it in the sink, and told him to stop it already. He looked between us and grinned like he understood now. Mark joked that maybe we should get my wife drunk first, then that'll get her to loosen up the leash she has on me. I'll admit, that made me see red. I got in his face and told him, actually I don't drink because last time I did I almost freaking died, so unless you want me puking everywhere and having seizures, you should shut up and leave my wife out of this. Wiped the smile off him real quick and he apologized. The rest of the night went on and he finally left me alone. Our flatmate did confront me in the morning because he thinks I was too honest with Mark, and it wasn't his fault, he didn't know. He was just joking around and I made him feel bad. Our other friends agree he was being too pushy and deserved being told off. My wife agrees, so he's the only one right now that's taking Mark's side. He said I could have ignored him until he gave up instead of bringing up an uncomfortable truth from my past. Now yes, I could have just told Mark the truth without full details, but felt that's none of his business, and a no should have been enough. I only got carried away when he decided to include my wife in his jokes. So yes, I'm wondering if I was a bit of a butthole for what I told him instead of keeping the peace. Is OP a butthole? Here is what Reddit thinks. Not the butthole. No is a full sentence. Mark was being pushy and an asshole. Peer pressure isn't cute when you're teenagers, and it's especially ridiculous as adults. He disrespected you by badgering you to drink, and he disrespected your wife. No one needs a reason to not do something, but since Mark clearly wasn't going to stop pushing you, were well within the right to tell him exactly why you didn't want to drink. Am I the butthole for kicking my friend out of my house even though she has nowhere else to go? My boyfriend, 30M, and I, 28F, moved into a fairly large house together last year. When all the COVID things started getting out of hand, we decided to open up our house to one of our friends, 30F, and my BF's cousin, 19F. The friend who moved in with us, Kate, fake name, lost her job before the pandemic, and 2 months ago with the end of lease she couldn't afford a place to live. My boyfriend and I have a common friend group that we knew since the college days. Around 7 years. Kate joined this group 2 years ago. When our friends informed us of her losing her house, we decided, hey, we have free space, come stay with us for a while until you can find a permanent solution. We also covered the food expenses while she helped with the chores. She accepted and moved in within a few days. When she first moved in, she was acting friendly with me, but as time progressed, she started becoming colder and colder towards me, but was still friendly with my BF. A month ago, she started acting weird. While we were watching Netflix, she started sitting in between my BF and me, touching or hitting his arm lightly when she was laughing, touching my BF's neck or hair while saying good morning to his ear, or trying to massage him constantly. I didn't know what to do, especially because my boyfriend was not saying anything at the time and I didn't want to be the crazy GF. However, he sat me down a week or so ago and told me he was extremely uncomfortable by the way Kate was behaving. Let me tell you, I was so relieved that I was not the only one who was thinking she was acting strange. Lol. He said when I'm not around, her behavior only increases, and he didn't know what to do because he was scared of telling me this, as he thought maybe he was overthinking it. We decided to speak to her if she did it again and went to bed happy. 2 days ago, I drove to my parents' house to visit them and help with their needs as they don't go out. I got a text 2 hours into my visit from my BF asking me to come back home urgently. When I returned, everyone in the house was yelling and I was very confused. Lol. When my BF saw me, he said that he wanted to talk to Kate about what she has been doing was making him uncomfortable, and apparently she didn't take this well because she said she did this with everyone, and when I took my BF's side, more yelling and calling names happened. We told her to get her things and get out. I thought our friends would take our side when we told them about this, but now the whole group is divided. Most of them said yes, she was wrong if she was making us uncomfortable, but that she is just a touchy person, and we were buttholes for kicking her out in a pandemic when she had nowhere else to go to. I trust my boyfriend very much as he has been nothing but an honest partner for the past 5 years. He said he decided to talk to her because she kept caressing his arm and touching his thigh and he hated it. Is the poster a butthole or not? Reddit says, not the butthole. I actually feel like she was trying to push you out and take your BF. I mean, honestly, it would solve all her problems. Not only are you not the butthole, she's a grown butt woman who is not your problem. Good riddance to bad friend rubbish. Finally, here's our headline story of the day. Am I the butthole for wanting my daughter's boyfriend / soon-to-be fiancé to know her dark secret before marriage? I'm the dad of a 25-year-old young woman who I love very much. I've been able to have a good relationship with my daughter, and I enjoy my time with her. But there's one thing about her that would give many people pause. She is a diagnosed sociopath. She exhibited odd, disturbing behavior at a young age, and after a serious incident of abuse towards her younger sister, I realized she needed professional help. Throughout her elementary years, she struggled heavily, getting in lots of trouble in school for lying, cruelty, and all other types of misbehaviors. With an enormous amount of therapy and support, her bad behavior was minimized. As she grew older, she received an ASP diagnosis at 18, and I had suspected it for long prior. After her aggressive behavior was tamed, her following years were much more fruitful. She's law-abiding, has a decent job and a good education, and has many good friendships and admirers, especially male admirers. She is very charming and adept at attracting guys and maintaining their interest. She uses that old dating guide, The Rules, like a Bible. She currently has a boyfriend of about 1.5 years who's crazy about her, and who I have a very strong relationship with. We live in the same area and spend time together regularly. He is a great guy, very kind, funny and intelligent, but I doubt she loves him. We've had some very honest, in-depth discussions about her mental health since her diagnosis, and she's been open with me that she doesn't feel love or empathy towards anyone, even family. When she acted very sad and broken up over the death of one of her closest friends at the funeral, she confessed to me privately that it was all a put on, and that she felt pretty neutral about the whole thing. She has also stated she has never once felt guilty about anything she's ever done, and doesn't know what guilt feels like. While she enjoys being around her boyfriend and is sexually attracted to him, I highly doubt she feels much of anything towards him love-wise. Her boyfriend, who might propose soon, has no idea about her diagnosis, and she's been very upfront with me that she has no plans to ever tell him, thinking it'll scare him away. I've made it clear to her that she needs to tell him the truth before they marry, that he has the right to know and consider it, or I will. To which she always responds, I know you wouldn't dare. I really like and respect this young man, and would feel awful keeping this secret from him, and letting him walk into a marriage without this piece of knowledge. I'm not trying to sabotage my daughter's future. Maybe her boyfriend's love of her personality and other aspects is enough that it won't end the relationship. It's his decision to make, but he deserves all the facts. Someday he's bound to find out she's a bit off. It can't be kept a secret forever. Am I the butthole? Did OP act like a butthole? Here's what Reddit thinks. I think the guy needs to know, deserves to know. But what if it does destroy the relationship? I can't imagine what it could mean for OP to have his sociopath daughter be very angry at him. Damn up. I'm so sorry, not the butthole, but I don't know if you should follow through with telling him or not. Now it's your time to vote on the buttholeness of the headline story. Is the poster a butthole? Let us hear your thoughts. Go to the pinned comment under this video. Please hit the thumbs up on the reply of YDA. You are the butthole if you think the OP could have been nicer. Or press thumbs up on the reply saying NTA. Not the butthole if you are on the same side as OP. Feel free to leave your opinion and reason why you voted for the option you did in the comments section. And join the discussion. For more buttholes, subscribe to Sidebar.